Welcome to the FSVP Executive Training Program. Foreign Supplier Verification Program (FSVP) rule, part of a larger United States food safety regulatory system. Created by AFS International.
Who is responsible for food safety? The Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1938 places primary responsibility for human and animal food safety on the food industry, YOU. The Act assigns responsibility of regulating food safety to the FDA, with the exception of meat, poultry, processed egg products, and recently catfish, which are regulated by U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA.
FDA under the Food Safety Modernization Act. FDA has the authority to mandate a food recall. FDA has the authority to access your records. Domestic and foreign food facilities are required to renew FDA registration every 2 years. Farms do not need to register. FDA can suspend a facility's registration if reasonable probability that food presents a serious health hazard. The Food Safety Modernization Act affects the food supply chain. Foreign and domestic manufacturers, processors, packers, and holders of food must assess hazards and implement preventive controls. Foreign and domestic growers of fresh produce must comply with produce safety requirements, known as the Produce Safety Rule. United States food importers must ensure that their foreign food suppliers are sending foods to the United States that meet United States food safety standards. Produce Safety Rule. On November 27, 2015, the FDA published the final Produce Safety Rule, PSR. Part 112, Standards for the Growing, Harvesting, Packing, and Holding of Produce for Human Consumption. Some of your foreign suppliers might be subject to this rule. If this is the case, you as the FSVP importer must make sure your suppliers comply with Regulation 21 CFR 112. Preventive Controls for Human Food Rule. On September 17, 2015, the FDA published the Preventive Controls Rule for Human Food. 21 CFR Part 117, Current Good Manufacturing Practice, Hazard Analysis, and Risk-Based Preventive Controls for Human Food, known as the Preventive Controls Rule. Some of your foreign suppliers might need to meet this regulation. Who is an importer under the FSVP rule? Definition: Importer means the United States owner or consignee of an article of food that is being offered for import into the United States. If there is no United States owner or consignee of an article of food at the time of entry, the importer is the United States agent or representative of the foreign owner or a consignee at the time of entry. The agent or representative should be confirmed in a signed statement of consent. Importer of record versus FSVP importer. A key difference between the FSVP importer as defined by the FDA in the FSVP rule and the importer of record, IR, as defined by Customs and Border Protection, CBP, is that the FSVP importer must be someone in the United States. The importer of record could be located in the United States and also serve as the FSVP importer. Whoever is the FSVP importer, that person is who FDA will hold accountable if the FSVP requirements are not met. Who is a foreign supplier? Definition: Foreign supplier means, for an article of food, the establishment that manufactures, processes the food, raises the animal, or grows the food that is exported to the United States. If you import from a facility that buys from multiple farms, your foreign suppliers are the farms. Who is a qualified individual? An FSVP qualified individual is a person who has the education, training, or experience, or a combination thereof, necessary to perform an activity required by the FSVP rule, and can read and understand the language of any records that the person must review in performing this activity. 3 types of FSVP: Standard, Modified, Exempt. For this training, we will only cover the Standard FSVP. Let's cover the standard requirements. 1. Hazard analysis. 2. Evaluation and approval of the foreign supplier. 3. Foreign supplier verification. The regulation requires on-site verification activities. Our company can assist with verifications on your foreign suppliers' sites. We perform inspections to measure compliance with Rules 21 CFR 112 or 21 CFR 117. For re-evaluation of foreign supplier, at least every 3 years, or when an issue arises. 5. Importer identification at entry. This is your DUNS number or UFI. 6. Importance of records. There are all the records to meet compliance. Standard requirements. Your qualified individual will conduct a hazard analysis of the imported food, including hazard identification and a hazard risk evaluation. Also consider the health impact if the hazard is not controlled. Standard requirements. Conduct an evaluation of the foreign supplier's food safety performance and risk posed by the food. The foreign supplier performance including F. The foreign supplier's procedures, processes, and practices related to the safety of the food. B. Applicable FDA food safety regulations and information relevant to the foreign supplier's compliance with those regulations, including whether the foreign supplier is the subject of an FDA warning letter, import alert, or other FDA compliance action related to food safety. C. The foreign supplier's food safety history, including available information about results from testing foods for hazards, audit results relating to the safety of the food, and responsiveness of the foreign supplier in correcting problems. Standard requirements. Approve the foreign supplier based on above evaluations. You must approve your foreign suppliers on the basis of the evaluation that you conducted. Always have a document of your approval. Sign. Date. Approve. Standard requirements. Always have procedures to ensure that the imported food only comes from approved foreign suppliers. Standard requirements. Determine and apply appropriate verification activities and assess results. If needed, implement corrective actions. When performing on-site verification activities, our teams can assist you and provide a full report on the supplier's food safety practices. Standard requirements. Re-evaluate your foreign supplier at least every 3 years, or when reason to do so. Standard requirements. The FSVP importer must develop processes and procedures to import food only from approved foreign suppliers. Identify the FSVP importer at time of entry. Document all the verification activities. Manage all FSVP required documents. In some cases, you might have only hours to present FSVP documents to an investigator. Key points. Importers covered by the FSVP rule will have to verify that their suppliers meet applicable FDA food safety requirements. Unlike traditional facility inspections, FSVP inspections are based on the review of records rather than observations of food production. Key points. Anticipate known or foreseeable hazards associated with particular types of food. Evaluate the risk posed by the food based on the hazard analysis and the supplier's record of compliance. Use the data to approve foreign suppliers and design appropriate methods of supplier verification. Thank you for watching this executive training. AFS can assist in building your FSVP plan. AFS can audit your current FSVP program. AFS can perform foreign verification inspections. AFS can assist with all your food safety, social responsibility, and organic consulting needs. Contact us at 520-449-7398.